はい、こんにちは。パズル式英語のKENです。今日はですね、カタカナ英語と話題になっている自民党の小野田議員が、2021年にコロンビアビジネススクールで演説した時のですね、スピーチについて解説していきたいと思います。巷ではカタカナ英語って言ってバカにされてたりとかしますけれども、僕が聞いた限りでは非常にしっかりした心を打つ演説ですし、YouTube のコメント欄を見るとですね、アメリカ人とか外国の方がですね、好意的なね、コメントを出してますね。今回の内閣に入ったっていうことで、世界中から実は注目を集めています。そういったですね、小野田議員のですね、スピーチを聞いてみましょう。今回のね、スピーチはですね、多様性に関する、ダイバーシティに関するスピーチなんですよね。単に多様性は素晴らしいという耳障りがいいものではなくてですね、ダイバーシティ運動が持つね、矛盾なんかにも切り込んでいるし、かなり知的なね、スピーチです。この頃からですね、高市さんが首相になるべくですね、2021年から応援しているっていうところもね、このスピーチの中に現れているんで、聞いてみましょうね。じゃあ動画流します。
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the kind invitation to participate in this event. It is both my pleasure and honor to join you all here today on this occasion. First, I wish to thank Director Weinstein for organizing this event. As introduced, I am a member of House of Councillors for the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan, and I served as a parliamentary Vice Minister of Justice until last month.I started my career working for a video game company, and then I decided to run for political office in my local assembly. As such, this year marks the 10th anniversary of my entry into political life. Professor Weinstein mentioned that the school is very active in area of DEI, and I'm interested in hearing some unique stories for me. So today I will speak about diversity and integrity.Let me start by sharing some experiences from my childhood, and I would like to present my views on the stereotypes that we tend to impose on others in our attempt to promote diversity. I'm half Japanese, born between a Japanese mother and an Irish American father.Now, for those of you uncomfortable with the simplified term of half, please bear with me as I will explain my thoughts later down the line. I was born in USA after my parents' international marriage. When I was 1 year old, my parents and I returned to Japan to live with my grandfather. One day,When I was 2, I woke up in the morning and found that my father had suddenly gone away. Since then, I was raised by my mother in a single-parent household. At the time of my father's disappearance, my mother was pregnant with my young sister. Life was hard. We were hand-me-downs from relatives and lived simple lives.Without even dreaming on eating out or going on vacations, still my mother insisted that her daughters receive a proper education, even if that meant going into debt. Thanks to her determination, we went to good school, and I am now a member of that diet. I grew up in the countryside of Japan where there were no foreigners,or half Japanese residents. No sooner had I entered nursery school.
ここですね、No sooner than っていう構文が出てきてましたよね。なんなんすりゃいなやっていう意味のね、統治構文ですよね。わかりやすいですよね。When I entered っていうふうに言うよりもわかりやすいなと思います。
And starting to have social interaction with those outside of my family that I became a target of persecution.All the kids at my school chased me, threw rocks at me, and beat me up while yelling, "Dirty foreigner, go back to America."
それから、target of persecution。迫害の対象ですね。かなりきつい言葉ですね。すごい感情がね、入ってね、読んでますよね。カタカナ英語っていう人いますけれども、彼女意味分かってね、喋ってますよね。
At first, I did not understand the reason for my mistreatment. I thought that maybe I had done something to offend or hurt people.So I just accepted it. However, once I understood that my abuse was fueled by racial difference, I decided to maximize my resistance, arguing that I had not done anything wrong. They are the ones who were wrong. Fortunately, I was taller and stronger than the other kids, and I was determined to fight back whenever I was bullied, and it worked. The number of kids bullying me gradually decreased, but these attacks continued until I graduated from my small public elementary school in the countryside. In the close environment of a small community of group, it is often perceived that being different from others is bad. Of course, this is not just limited to those who are half Japanese. For example, if you do better than others in school or disagree with controversial rules that are tastefully accepted by all, you will be unpopular. I think that any environment that blindly condemns differences from the majority, differences from the majority as bad, regardless whether that difference is better or worse, is wrong. It is wrong because it generates an environment where the promise of evolution and growth is precluded. My mother could not bear to watch me battle peer pressure every day in such a narrow-minded environment and suggested that I apply to private junior high school. As a poor single parent, it must have been a difficult decision. Following my mother's advice, I entered an all-girls missionary school, which had both a middle and a high school. Having been bullied mostly by men and boys, I entered this school in the hopes of an environment where I would not have to fight. A few days after starting school, I was suddenly surrounded by several older students in the hallway. I thought to myself, is this going to be the start of everyday battles again? But then they said, "Hey, will you be a friend?" I was so surprised. As it turned out, they noticed a half Japanese girl at the opening ceremony and simply wanted to become friends with me since I was unique. I was fortunate to enroll into a junior high school where many of the senior students, classmates, and teachers were open-minded and viewed being different as unique and that individuality should be treasured. This concept was very new, even nearly a utopian environment for me, as I had always been rejected for my differences. This environment where I was not inevitably rejected for the traits that I was born with, or even my thinking or lifestyle assigned my development as an individual, and enabled me to grow as a person. I learned interesting perspective and ways of thinking through exchanging views with other unique individuals. My energy spent on fighting these challenges shifted to clarifying and fulfilling my dreams. I would not be who I am today had I not gone to that school.
はい、いかがですかね。女性だから、弱いから、アメリカで生まれたからって言って差別を受けてたんですけれども、母子家庭だったんだけど、お母さんがね、頑張っていただいて、中学に進んでっていう経緯からですね、小野田議員の、弱い者もね、女性も男性もみんな楽しく生きようぜっていうメッセージがですね、英語の中で、ね、伝わってきますよね。で、その中で、高市議員をもう一生懸命、2021の時からね、推してるんですよね。このコロンビア大学の、ね、スピーチでもですね、高市さん推してる部分があるので、それをちょっと聞いてみましょう。
The LDP presidential election, which happened to also be the election to decide the next Prime Minister of Japan, was held on 30 September. For the first time in 30 years, a female candidate announced her candidacy. Her name is Ms. Sanae Takaichi. She is a wonderful politician who is well versed in the wide range of policies, quick-witted, and has a strong sense of duty and humanity. I have been a supporter of hers for many years because I believe that she is an ideal candidate. I do not support her just because she is a woman, but because she is an excellent politician who happens to be a woman. However, when she announced her candidacy for the LDP presidency, an interesting newspaper article appeared alleging that she is unpopular among her female colleagues because she does not participate in any of the female-only diet member meetings or groups. Therefore, a politician who does not focus on policies specific to women is not suitable to be the first female prime minister. Does anyone else think this is strange?
はい。いかがですかね。高市首相、一部ではね、嫌いな人もね、いるみたいで、お子さんを持ってないとか、そういった女性の苦労を知らないとかって言って、高市さんの首相になるべきではないと言ってる人もいるようだけど、個人の生活でそういう差別をすることはないんじゃないかということをね、小野田議員はね、言ってますよね。誰がどんな環境であれ、自分らしく生きれると、そういうことをね、主張されていて、すごく共感しますよね。いかがだったでしょうか。確かに彼女はですね、発音が日本語なんですけれども、そしてですね、カンペをね、見てるっていうのはわかりますけれども、もちろんその官僚が書いた英文を読み上げてるってことは分かりますけれども、元々の彼女の主張はこの中にこもってますよね。ですので僕はカタカナ英語でもね、いいんじゃないかなと思うんですよ。チャット GPT とかがあるので、自分の思いをチャット GPT に語ってそれを英語にして、それを発言するだけでもね、皆さんのね、英会話スキルがどんどん上がっていくと思うので、ぜひですね、英語でね、喋ってみてください。AI 時代は AI を使って英語をね、喋れる時代です。皆さんも頑張っていきましょう。この動画ね、良かったな、面白かったなと思われた方はですね、いいね、およびね、通知ボタンをチャンネル登録もよろしくお願いします。ではまた次の動画もお楽しみに。バイバーイ。